Our client's website hit 100,000 monthly visitors. In today's video, I'll be revealing exactly what we did to hit these numbers in the changing AI and search space. And also, I'll be revealing how you can hit these numbers and beyond for your website. The first lesson and biggest takeaway is that patience and consistency compounds. So we can see here that this website is about 2 years old, and only within the last 8 months when we took over in January of 2025, we can see that there's been a huge uptake in traffic, but that took us a lot of work. So let's go ahead and take a look at January, in which we took over. There was only 77 organic pages and traffic was about 6,400. Now, as you can see here, as we continue to grow the website, we did a huge content blitz with each month creating 30 to 40 articles. And now today we have over 450 articles or blog posts or pages. And that's accounted for over 62,000 search traffic from Ahrefs. But again, on analytics, as you can see, it's a 100K. This clearly shows that the more articles, the more blog posts you create, the more chances you have of ranking and growing your website. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the organic traffic analytics. If you take a look at these URLs, we can see that there's something that really stands out here. And that is the majority of your articles that you create will not bring in a lot of traffic. 20% of the articles that you create will bring in 80% of the traffic. So for example, we see here that if we count up maybe the first 10 articles here, this accounts for over probably half of the search traffic in which we're getting back. And just one URL is bringing in over 11% of our search traffic. And this mirrors what we see in analytics. The first article that's getting the most amount of visitors accounts for over 13%. The first 15 articles is definitely going to be over 50% of our search traffic. And we have over 400 articles on this website. So that's another huge lesson for you to know, is when you're creating content, not all of the content is going to do well. So don't be discouraged when articles aren't ranking, because it's more of a long-term game and you need to find a middle ground between quality and consistency. So let's talk about exactly how to do that and how I was able to write these articles. So first, you need to do good keyword research. I like to use Ahrefs. Very easy to use. Just find the biggest websites within your niche from a Google search, put it up on Ahrefs, go to overview and search up their keywords and see what they're ranking for, and then create a plan of all the content that you need to create. Once you have your content, now it's time to start creating the content and commit to creating at least 50 articles per month at the beginning. But you need to make sure you're creating really good content. And I had this issue because it's hard to find a tool in which you can use that's going to give you good quality content that's also going to rank, that's also going to be automated and be affordable. So through my trial and errors, I actually created my own tool and I've tested it. And this is the backbone of what I've been able to use in order to create all of those articles for this website quickly and also to rank. So it's called WordRocket. Head over to app.wordrocket.ai if you want to try it out. In order to win SEO and to win on Google, you need to create the best possible content around the topic so that Google will show your content, and it doesn't matter if it's AI or not. When it comes to creating your content, there's 3 main templates in which you can choose from depending on the content. If I'm creating a pillar piece of content, right? So that means if I'm creating something that is really in depth and I want to beat my competitors, like let's say, for example, a keyword of best watches under $1,000 or best running shoes, something that's going to be a pillar piece of content that it's competitive. What I'm going to use is I'm going to use my competitor analyzer tool in WordRocket, which is a template that you can enter in you can enter in URLs. The AI will then scrape those URLs and give you a competitor analysis and then write an article that's going to beat your competitors based upon data, right? So we just enter in our URLs, click analyze. Once it's finished, we can go ahead and take a look at the competitor analysis, and then we can select it and build a super problem based upon the actual analysis in which we did. And this works really well because, again, it's going to take what's good, it's going to improve it and give you a prompt that you can use to generate an article that is going to outrank your competitors. So if you're creating a pillar piece of content, then use the competitor analyzer tool. So this is your prompt here. Click using WordRocket. You can edit your word count, choose to include an HTML element or internal links, and generate the content. It's going to generate in your background, and we'll come back and take a look at it once it's finished. So once that's generating, let's take a look at some of the other templates in which we have. If you need to write more up-to-date content, so let's say you're within the medical niche, within the real estate niche, or you're writing real-time current event news, you can use this template, which will actually, so let's say, for example, we wanted to write an article about new iPhone release, September of 2025. We can include that as the web search. We can change our blog post topic or keyword. We can use Perplexity because I think that's the best to do research. And how it works is it's going to do research on new iPhones that's dropped in September of 2025. And it's going to then use that information with Claude to write an article. So you're getting up-to-date, fresh content. It combines it with Claude, so you get the best of both worlds. And this template is absolutely gold. It's so good. And you also get references included within the article. So if you're within the medical niche, if you're writing up-to-date content, it's hard to really write fresh content using AI tools because AI is not trained. But with this two-step approach, it works really good. So again, just give it some time and it's going to start generating within the background. And if you need to create SEO optimized content with images embedded and internal links, we have the all-in-one SEO generator. This is also another really powerful tool. This allows you to create content with your brand voice and your knowledge enabled. So that means if I enable that and I set it up, it will write within my brand and also use my business throughout the article naturally. Let's say a topic that I wanted to write about was how to choose a mortgage broker. I'm going to copy that over because my brand voice is tailored towards a mortgage company. I'm going to use Claude Sonnet 4. You can then customize your article, writing in the first person, stories, examples, and so forth. You can even include custom HTML elements, which is a really good high ranking factor. And I've seen a lot of improvements on my rankings when I've done that. I'll show you what that looks like once we're finished setting up this article, and then we can choose the amount of images in which we like to generate. So let's say we want to generate 5 images and a cover image. We can go ahead and do so. So now we have the ability to add internal links. We have the ability to generate in our brand voice. We also have the ability to include custom HTML elements and images, and that's exactly what you need to do if you want to rank on Google. So if we take a look at our top ranked blog posts, we can see that right off the bat, we have custom HTML elements within our FAQs. Scroll down a little bit. We have another custom HTML element that you can actually choose different places here, and it will have a pop-up depending on where your piercing is, which is very relevant for this specific article. We have a custom sticky consultation here. We have a video embedded, right? So we've done everything that we needed to do. We've covered all our bases to ensure that we can actually rank on Google. Here we have the article on the new iPhone release of September 2025. So Apple again has captivated the tech world with the iPhone 17 that has been released. So Apple announced the iPhone 17 on September 9th. So you can see that it is up-to-date information. And it's a pretty long article. Like, it's a good bit of our content here, right? Not just very thin. And we have our references and we have our SEO meta information and our title and our description as well. So really good article here with our tables as well. If we take a look at the article that we generated with images, this is what it's going to look like. So we have our content here, and then we have our key takeaways with a cover image that's embedded. I know it looks a little bit weird. You can simply go ahead and copy over the markdown and you'll see exactly what it looks like. If you're on WordPress, you can simply copy over the markdown as I mentioned and paste it in. And you can see you have a beautiful cover image here. This looks great. We have a couple of inline images. Let's scroll down, another really good image. And as you can see, there's no distortion in the text because we use some of the highest models when it comes to image generation. And the image generation is completely free as well. So questions to ask, scroll down, another image here. Again, no distortion, looks really good. very relevant to the content which we're creating. And you also have your custom HTML element. I'll show you very quickly what that looks like. So when you do copy it over, because it's in HTML content, it's not going to automatically convert. So what we need to do, we just need to go ahead and copy over the code. We're going to add an HTML block, paste that in there, hit preview, and we get a mortgage broker comparison tool. So you can rate mortgage brokers based upon some scores to give you better confidence when you're choosing, and you can reset. So isn't this great? You get a custom tool built in that looks awesome. You get your custom images. You can do internal links. You can do key takeaways, and you get tables. You get everything you need within an article within one click using WordRocket, in addition to having all of these other templates in which you can choose from. So once you have your process down, then it's just about rinse and repeating. It's about continually going over to Ahrefs to find content, using ChatGPT to do competitive research so you can find content ideas. You want to write about every single topic, every single question, every single keyword within your niche. That may take some time, but if you do that, your likeliness of growing your website is way higher. And with WordRocket, it definitely is realistic, and it's not super expensive, because WordRocket is a bring your own API key tool. So you need to enter in your Open Router API key, and you get billed directly from Open Router, and that API cost is going to be much less compared to if you have to pay for each generation that you're using on WordRocket. So it's also a scalable tool, again, which allows you to really scale your content creation. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this kind of breakdown and analysis of our milestone that we've reached for our competitor. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.